Hey, happy Wednesday. All right, you guys, are you ready for more EMPHORY goodness? I got such cool feedback, you guys, about yesterday's call. So if you're just now seeing this and you didn't see yesterday's call, please go back on my profile and check out yesterday's call. It kind of sets us up for what EMPHORY is and why it's here. And you know what I think I didn't do? Even though I've posted it a couple of different times in a couple of different places, I don't think yesterday I talked about what EMPHORY actually stands for. So it's a anagram. Is that what it is? Where each of the letters means something. So basically, it is eliminate mindsets, paradigms, hoaxes. Only remember Yahweh. And it is a way of being from the perspective of when I looked up what Yahweh meant, because when I got the download that that's what that represented, I was like, I don't even know what Yahweh means. I mean, I knew it was a name of God, but I didn't know what it meant. And it is the I am. And so recognizing that we are made in the image of God, we are creative energy. Therefore, when I say I am, that is the spirit part of me. And then whatever I fill in the blank with afterwards is how my human shows up in the creative identity of the I am. So, there's that. All right, guys, moving on to our next principle. Oh, finite and infinite. So on my human side, I'm finite. On my spirit side, I'm infinite. Okay. And here's the one thing that I want to keep coming back to. Again, I told you yesterday, I will say this every single day for the next 39 days. The spirit side is not better than the human side. Okay. As we evolve through consciousness, when we think our human is bad and we think spirit is good, we need to believe that in order to pull ourselves out of the human being bad. However, that's not the end of the story. Okay. So I'm not saying that there is not the availability where I go, oh my gosh, like I'm functioning so much in my finite self. I need to remember that I'm infinite, right? It's better in that moment because I'm stuck in my finiteness. So the better choice is to focus on the infiniteness. But the infiniteness is not better than finiteness. It's only better in that moment because I need to swing the pendulum from being stuck in the finiteness. Okay? But sometimes we swing over into the infiniteness and we're like, oh, everything is infinite. Everything is like everything is for forever. There's no ending to anything. Well, guess what? Then I can get caught in the idea that this bad situation is infinite. Remember how I told you guys yesterday, as we move through this, you'll see where we actually, when we bastardize these principles, that something that is on the spirit side actually becomes what is detrimental to us. And this is one of them. If I don't remember that I am finite and that is valuable and that is a gift, then I'm in a bad situation and I think it's going to go on forever. I think it's infinite. I think it's unending. I think that I'm just going to be stuck here for forever. Yeah? The other really cool thing about this is when we look at the value, because a lot of times we're like, I don't want to be finite. I don't want to be a finite being. I want to be an infinite being, except for if I'm not a finite being, I can't have an experience in this moment. So imagine wanting to eat something. I would like to eat a great big fat juicy cheeseburger. But if I'm infinite, that means I'm going to shove all the food in my mouth at one time and then I never actually get to finitely enjoy my one finite in this moment of time, double fat, juicy, greasy cheeseburger, right? So again, if I'm eating off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, I think, ooh, finite bad, infinite good. Or, oh no, infinite bad, I need to be finite. I need to only be right now in this moment, and infinite doesn't exist. But then I'm stuck, right? Because there is no infinite, right? That's the eating off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, as opposed to eating off the tree of life that says infinite good, finite good, both good. Which one do I need to apply to either get moving or get unstuck or come back to this moment and be present, right? And by the way, yes, getting moving and getting unstuck are two different things. You're welcome. We might talk about that another day. Who knows? I was just supposed to throw that out there. Nugget. All right. And guys, a lot of these, again, will fall kind of in the same space, I guess, but energetically how they function is a little bit different, because when I look at the next one, limited and unlimited, well, that's finite and infinite, right? They're kind of along the same vein, but they're actually very different from the perspective of the functioning of it, right? Because finite is more in this time and space, moving linearly, and infinite is linearly. It goes on forever, and it had no start, which even we could go back to eternal, right? But eternal being more holistic, infinite being more linear. And then when we look at limited and unlimited, we're talking more about capacity and ability, right? I am limited to raising my arm like this, right? But I'm unlimited in what I might reach for. Not a good example. Okay. Okay, maybe moving was not a good example. I am limited in the amount of money that I have in my bank account at this current moment. That there is an amount that is limited. So if somebody said, can you pay cash for $1 million home out of your checking account right now? My answer would be no. I have a limited amount of money in my checking account to take out to pay cash for said home. Yes? But the unlimitedness is, okay, but I could get it, and maybe I couldn't get it and pay cash, but I could get money and put a down payment, and then the unlimitedness is then I could pay it off over the next 20 or 30 years. So I'm not limited by my bank account to what I can purchase. I'm unlimited in the possibilities of how to purchase it. Yes? But if I don't honor the limit and I say, oh yes, I would like to buy $1 million home, and somebody said, okay, we'll give you the money for $1 million home, but I make $1,000 a month, well, then I didn't honor the limitedness of how I'm functioning right now buying that house. Yes, both good. Which one do I need to apply to actually have ease and joy and well with my soul in this moment? Yeah? All right. You guys ready for the next one? Ooh, matter and ether. Matter. This is matter. This is physical. It's matter. It's here, right? Now, again, when we look at some of these, physical and non-physical, well, why is it different than matter and ether? Well, because matter can show up even in an emotion, as far as like what my face looks like, right? So my face is the physical piece, but the matter of how my face is shaped is different if I'm angry, if I'm happy, if I'm laughing, right? So there is a shape and form to matter. Whereas ether, it can change in any, like, nothing. Like, I can imagine somebody being happy and being sad and being happy, whereas the matter, it takes a second for it to reshape, right? Ether is more instantaneous, matter formulates, right? So a lot of times when we hear manifestation work and people say, well, just like in the physical, when you plant a seed, it takes time for it to grow. Except that's not really the whole truth if we look at the opposite side, where ether is just as real as matter, but actually changes faster. So if we're only focusing on matter and how matter works, then I say, oh, well, it takes time for this to happen. When in reality, the ether is the belief that actually makes manifest the physical thing. Yeah? So understanding that they play a different role in what do I need in this moment to apply these laws to my life. Let me tell you where one of these came up, and we're going to pop over to practices for just a moment. And our first practice is everything is energy, right? So when we're living in the duality and we're looking at it from good or bad, better or worse, instead of it's one thing, it's all energy, right? Let's look at Einstein's equation of E equals mc squared. Okay, so what is that? Energy equals mass times the speed of light raised exponential, whatever, right? Because it's squared. So it's an exponential, right? So energy equals matter, which ultimately, if there's an equal sign, it means they have to be the same, right? So everything being energy, a lot of times when we talk about, well, that was energetic. Oh, okay, but if everything is energy because E equals M, then there's matter and there's ether. There's the physical and the non-physical. There's the seen and the unseen, right? So it is the matter that equals the E, which we call energy, but maybe it's ether. Ether equals mass, which then collectively all of it is energy. I'm just throwing that out there. Not that I'm saying, ooh, we need to change this, or this is better. I'm saying, like, relative to how we're talking about it, that would be a really cool way to explain it, right? So ether being the opposite of matter, yet collectively, because there's an equal sign in between, it's all energy, right? And now we have more power over said material matter, because it's not material as opposed to energy. It's a different form that energy is taking. Now I can go, okay, well, what's real? The seen or the unseen? Both, because it's all energy. Just one is in form of ether and one is in form of matter. Yes? Isn't that, you guys? I just settle into this for just a second. Isn't this fun and exciting, right? Because let's go back to the finite and the infinite. If there is a physical situation that I'm in right now, and it is made manifest in the physical by way of matter, by way of how it's interacting with my nervous system, which is my physical, which is matter, right? And I think, oh, that's real. I'm just stuck. And then somebody says, well, Lori, just be happy. Just in the midst of your circumstance, just be happy. And I go, I can't do that. That's not real. But if the ether is just as real as matter, now I can go, it can be real. Like, I can be happy in this moment. I can be happy amidst this circumstance that maybe I don't like. I'm not stuck in this. It is malleable and pliable, right? Do you see how understanding the law actually allows us to navigate life at a whole different level? Guys, it's so fun. It's so fun. All right, stopping point. So now I'm going to have to remember. Maybe I should put in the description or in the caption or whatever that the words are called, that we went over this and I went over that. That way, if I ever have to go back and use reference, because we already went through one of the practices, which I kind of thought I was going to go through the principles and then go to the practices. But see, God had a different plan. So, all right, you guys, love and adore you. This was amazing. If this was fun for you, please like and share and do all the things and comment. If you have questions about this, please ask. Just like yesterday, you guys, I got some messages privately. If you don't feel comfortable asking the question or going, you're an idiot douche, like on a public page, then send it to me privately. I'm so okay with that. You don't have to put what you know or don't know or what you think out for the whole world to see. Yeah, message me privately if you feel like you would like to do that. And if you recognize that if you have the question, maybe somebody else does, and putting it out there publicly for it to contribute to somebody else would also be really cool. So, okay, I think that's it for today. All right, you guys, adore you. 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. Let's do this.